Tom Selleck has been one of Hollywood's most beloved stars for decades, earning millions of dollars along the way. His career has built an impressive fortune, from his $500,000 per episode salary on Magnum Pi, equal to $1.2 million today, to his $200,000 per episode salary on Blue Bloods. Selleck's net worth is estimated to be $45 million. In addition to acting, he has made a lot of money through real estate investments and licensing deals for his famous shows. However, this amazing wealth is the result of very personal choices, such as giving up things for his ranch and have amazed his family. What did Tom Selleck leave behind that made his family cry? Stay tuned to find out the story behind the legacy. The story of Tom Selleck makes you want to listen to every word. You may know him as the tough private investigator with the unforgettable mustache in Magnum Pi, or the steady, commanding NYPD commissioner in Blue Bloods, but there's so much more to Tom Selleck than what you see on TV. He's had a life full of tough choices and built a fortune with sheer hard work. Determination. Let's go back to the start. He was born in Detroit in 1945 and grew up in Sherman Oaks, California, after his family moved there. Tom wasn't born into Hollywood or a life of fame when he was only 3 years old. Imagine a skinny, quiet kid playing basketball at school who had no idea he'd one day become famous. He went on to get a basketball scholarship to the University of Southern California and planned to study business administration there. Acting wasn't even on his list of goals. Nothing about him until his senior year, when everything changed. Imagine a college student discovering his love for performance and taking a chance by rushing into acting classes. He wasn't happy just dreaming about it. Tom worked hard to improve his acting skills with the help of famous acting coach Milton Castellas, but let's not forget another important part of his life: the 6 years he served in the California Army National Guard from 1967 to 1973. These years taught him discipline and loyalty, which he carried with him into his acting career. Now let's move forward a bit. Selleck's first job in show business wasn't very exciting. He did a lot of ads. He worked hard for everything from Pepsi Right Guard to Salem Smokes. He had a hard time getting small parts on shows like The Rockford Files. He was turned down over and over, and some of the TV pilots he was in didn't make it past the first episode. But Tom Selleck didn't give up. He kept going. Then 1980 came along and changed everything. In Magnum Pi, Tom Selleck played the charming private detective Thomas Magnum. Picture him in a Hawaiian shirt and a Ferrari, and add a mustache to his face. This wasn't just a TV show, it was a phenomenon. For 8 seasons, people tuned in to see IAC in action, solving cases with a laid-back style that only he could pull off. The critics loved him too. He won an Emmy in 1984, solidifying his place as a television legend. What's even more remarkable is how much this role paid off. Quite literally, Selleck earned $500,000 per episode by the show's peak. If you adjust that for today's dollars, it's a jaw-dropping $1.2 million per episode. That wasn't just numbers on a paycheck, it became the foundation of a fortune. But here's something that shows Selleck's character. During Magnum Pi's final season, Tom asked the studio to give $1,000 bonuses to the crew as a thank you for their hard work. When the studio said no, Tom didn't back down. Instead, he used his own bonus to make it happen. He wrote the checks himself. Think about that for a moment. How many people do you think movie stars would do the same thing after Magnum Pi? You might have thought Selleck would slow down, but he didn't. He took on parts that showed how versatile he was, like 3 Men and a Baby, which showed he could do comedy as well as drama, and of course his unforgettable time on Friends as Dr. Richard Burke, the hot older man who won Monica's heart, and let's be honest, the hearts of many viewers. His work on Friends got him another Emmy nomination, but Cecil wasn't done yet. In 2010, he added to his legacy by playing Frank Reagan in Blue Bloods, a drama about a family of police officers in New York City. The show was an instant hit and ran for 14 seasons, with Selleck as the show's steady and principled police commissioner. Here's an interesting fact: Selleck's salary on Blue Bloods was much lower than it was on Magnum, about $200,000 per episode, or $4. Even though he was making $8 million a season, he didn't complain. In fact, during the show's final season, he and his co-stars agreed to a 25% pay cut to keep the show going for fans. This meant that he was only making $150,000 an episode, showing once again that for Tom Selleck, it wasn't just about the money, it was about the work and the people. Speaking of money, have you ever wondered how someone like Selleck manages theirs? It's not just acting. He's made smart investments and jumped at lucrative opportunities over the years. Just outside of Hollywood, syndication has been a gold mine for Selleck. There are reruns of Magnum Pi and Blue Bloods all the time, and each one brings in more money for Selleck. And let's not forget the commercials, from Pepsi in his early days to reverse mortgage ads more recently. Selleck has always found ways to keep his brand alive and thriving. By now, you're probably wondering how much this man is worth. The answer is an impressive $45 million, which he has earned by working hard for 5 decades. But here's the catch: Selleck doesn't just sit on his money, he's always been a generous person. Whether it's giving extra money to a crew that helps his favorite charities or skipping pay to work on a show he loves. And just when you think you know everything about Tom Selleck's amazing life, there's more to find out. $45 million is a lot of money, but the man is much more than that. His life and the decisions he's made show a much bigger picture. Let's look a little deeper into Tom Selleck's life behind the fame. He doesn't just make a lot of money and quit. He's built a life that combines hard work, smart investments, and a desire to keep things real. For example, his 65-acre ranch in Ventura, California, isn't just a luxurious retreat, it's his home in the lush hidden valley near Thousand Oaks. Before Selleck bought it in 1988, this land belonged to Dean Martin. Imagine living in a house with a past full of Hollywood legends. This is now Selleck's sanctuary, but the ranch wasn't always peaceful. It used to be an avocado farm. Can't you picture TV star Tom Selleck getting his hands dirty while walking through rows of avocado trees? He loved it and called it his way of staying grounded. But when droughts hit hard, the avocado trees didn't stand a chance. Now that the ranch is home to over 1,500 native trees, it's more of a retreat for Selleck to unwind after long days on set. "I like watching things grow," he said. "It's a simple statement, but it's true." The man has built a life based on balance, and that balance isn't by accident. Remember when Selleck quit Magnum Pie at the height of his fame? He wasn't tired of the role, he was tired of the grind. He didn't want to be sucked into the pressures of Hollywood, so he chose family and quiet. Even though everyone was saying that his career was over, Selleck didn't care. He knew it was. What was important, but don't think for a second that Tom Selleck's story ends there. He got some perspective when he was out of the spotlight, and when he came back, he did it his way. He didn't just take roles as an actor, producer, and even director. Selleck made his career work for him by co-producing movies like Monty Walsh and all 9 Jesse Stone movies. If you've ever seen him as the brooding, complex Jesse Stone, you know just how much heart he puts into his work. You've probably seen him as the spokesman for the American Advisor Group, AG, promoting reverse mortgages. Some people find it strange, but for Selleck, it's just another way to connect with people who share his values. That's why it works, but there's a twist you might not see coming. Selleck's life hasn't always been easy. In 2015, he got into a water dispute when the Caguas Municipal Water District accused him of moving more than 1 million liters of water to his ranch during California's drought. The dispute made the news, and Selleck had to defend himself. To settle the case for $22,000 for someone as careful and grounded as Selleck, it was a rare hiccup in an otherwise steady life, but he dealt with it and moved on. There's another interesting side to Selleck's story that involves real estate. He's not just an actor and a rancher, he's also a smart investor. At one point, he rented and then bought a home on a cool, cozy terrace in Honolulu, Hawaii. It's a beautiful home that was listed for $4 million in 2020. Add that to the value of his huge California ranch, and you can see that this man knows how to invest his money in things that will last. What's so interesting about Selleck's story is how he's been able to balance all of his responsibilities. He said many times that his family comes first, and he's been married to Jilly Mack for over 30 years. Selleck is a loving husband and father. His daughter Hannah loves the outdoors and has made a name for herself as an equestrian, and his son Kevin from his first marriage is also very close to him. Is still part of the close-knit Selleck family. It's clear that Selleck isn't just motivated by money or fame. He's proud of his work, but he's even more proud of the life he's built away from the cameras. Whether he's planting trees on his ranch or taking a pay cut to keep blue bloods alive, his actions show that he values honesty over flash. But even for someone like Tom Cecil, life isn't always easy. He's built a fortune and a legacy that most people can only dream of. Even $45 million can feel like a lot of money when you live on a 65-acre ranch. Tom has been honest about the fact that he's not the type of person to act like he's invincible, and as Blue Bloods comes to an end, the future of his ranch and what comes next weighs heavily on his mind. "Hopefully I keep working enough to hold on to the place," he said half-jokingly one time. Imagine that Tom Selleck, the guy we've seen commanding screens for decades, was worried about keeping his beloved ranch. But here's the thing. Tom has always been realistic. He knows that running a 65-acre property isn't cheap. Even when he's not fixing fences, the amount of work and money needed to keep everything running is huge. But as he gets closer to 80, the thought of having to let it go is not only hard, it's heartbreaking. Tom isn't the only one who loves the ranch. His wife Jill Mack has been by his side for 37 years, and they've been through everything together. He talks about it so much that you can almost feel his thoughts moving. Plus, he's been in business for years. Tom has been, when you see him quietly talking about a complicated financial product in ads for reverse mortgages, you can't help but believe him. He is the trusted face of American Advisor Group. That's why they picked him. He seems trustworthy. He's not flashy or over the top. He's steady, sure of himself, and believable for retirees who weigh a lot. Decisions about their life savings, that kind of reassurance matters. And it's not just about selling a product. Tom believes in what he's doing. That's why he agreed to take on the role in the first place. For now, Tom's future feels like a story that's just getting ready to unfold. Will he saddle up for one last Weston dive back into the world of Jesse Stone, or take on something entirely unexpected with Tom Selleck? You never quite know what's next, but you can bet it'll be something worth watching.